Welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews, unboxings, and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today we're talking about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5, titled Feel Her Love. And wow, there's a lot to unpack here. The episode opens with Hanrahan, who we briefly met last week, having a tense conversation with Elise Park. Through their dialogue, we learn a major piece of lore has now been brought into the live-action universe. The cordyceps virus is officially airborne. Now, fans of the video game will know that the airborne spores were a major threat in the original source material. Characters had to wear gas masks to survive. I'll admit, I haven't played the game, but it makes sense why the show left this out until now. Wearing masks in live action could limit the actors' facial expressions and muffle the audio. It's a creative trade-off, but I actually respect the way the show slowly introduces this element for maximum dramatic effect. One standout this episode is Dina, who continues to prove she's one of the smartest characters of the show. Using an intercepted radio, she figures out the WLF's travel patterns, which not only build tension, but also sets up the next leg of the journey. This is the kind of strategic thinking that elevates her character beyond the typical survival role. We also get some much-needed backstory on Dina. In a powerful and emotional moment, she opens to Ellie about a traumatic event, killing someone who broke into her home and murdered her mother and sister. It adds real weight to her motives and deepens the bond between the two characters. Ellie's moment in the abandoned theater is another strong scene. She walks in wide-eyed, probably never having seen a theater in her life. For us, it's a reminder of everything that's been lost, and for Ellie, it's a haunting glimpse into a world that's completely foreign to her. When Ellie and Dina make their way through a warehouse, they encounter a pack of stalkers, the same kind of infected that bit Ellie earlier in the season. These infected are different, smart, fast, and agile. It's a far cry from the slow, lumbering zombies we've come to expect from other media. And that brings me to a question I'd love to hear your thoughts on in the comments. Do you prefer smart, fast zombies or the slow and dumb ones? Personally, I think the slow and stupid ones make more sense from a biological standpoint. They are dead, after all. But from a storytelling perspective, evolving infected adds tension and keeps the audience on edge. And this show leans into that beautifully. The show continues to excel at show don't tell storytelling. Take Jesse's reappearance. He saves Ellie and Dina, but tells them he came with Tommy. We never actually see Tommy, which builds mystery. Where is he? Is he okay? That kind of subtle narrative work keeps us guessing. Another great example, Elise's story about her son. She begins to recount her journey early in the episode, but the tragedy, her son's death, isn't shown until the very end. That delayed reveal is powerful and leaves the viewers haunted. There's a chilling moment when Dina takes shelter in a wired cage, which reminded me a lot of the Dawn of the Den remake. A nice little visual nod for horror fans. And speaking of horror, how about that scene with the Seraphites hanging and gutting that poor guy? It's brutal. And the show doesn't shy away from showing just how terrifying this cult can be. One of the tensest moments in the episode is Ellie, Dina, and Jesse running through the woods being hunted on Seraphite turf. The stakes are high and the atmosphere is suffocating. You really feel how outnumbered and outmatched our heroes are. Ellie's confrontation with Nora at the hospital is a major turning point. Nora escapes, Ellie's initial attempt to corner her, and the WLF soldiers miss their shot at Ellie. But then, Nora does something drastic. She flees into the hospital basement, knowing full well the airborne spores are down there. And Ellie, she follows, revealing her immunity. Ellie's silent strength and willingness to enter a toxic zone speaks volumes. She ultimately corners Nora and beats her with a pipe, mirroring Abby's brutal attack on Joel. The parallels are undeniable and intentional. Also, shout out to the horror visuals. The human corpses infused with fungus on the basement walls were disgusting. To be honest, this episode started slow. The first 20 minutes didn't quite hook me the way previous episodes have. But once the story got moving, the warehouse, the woods, the hospital showdown, it really picked up steam. There's a lot of emotional weight and some key character development moments, but overall, it felt slightly less impactful than the last few episodes. That said, it's still strong television with moments that'll stick with me for a while. Rating, 3.5 out of 5. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments down below. Was it a hit for you or a bit of a lull before the storm? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thank you so much for everything, and go watch a movie today.